Well, hi there, and welcome back to Fluent and Fearless, the podcast where we help you speak American English with clarity, confidence, and your full personality. I'm Katherine Arthur, a pronounced speech and accent specialist. I'm a speech language pathologist, an accent and pronunciation specialist, and a radio broadcaster. Yes, I'm a triple threat, but that's not a bad thing, because this is the podcast for anyone and everyone who wants to take their communication skills to the next level. It's my goal to show you how to communicate fluently and fearlessly in any situation. Now, if you're a speaker of American English as a second language, and you've ever felt like you know exactly what you want to say, but when you say it, it sounds kind of flat or stiff or almost like a robot, and if that's happening to you, you're not alone. And more importantly, you are not the problem. Because today, we're going to unlock one of the biggest secrets to sounding natural in American English. Now, this isn't vocabulary or grammar, or really not even pronunciation. Although don't get me wrong, all of those things really are important. But what we're really focusing on today is rhythm. Specifically, syllable stress. Now, that might sound kind of boring, but listen, here's something you may not know. You can pronounce every sound correctly and use perfect grammar and still not sound natural when it comes to speaking American English. That's because if the rhythm, the syllable stress, or just the music of the language isn't quite right, well, something's off. And today, I'm going to help you fix that. So by the end of this episode, you'll understand why American English sounds so different, how syllable stress actually works, how to hear it, and most importantly, how to use it in your own speech. So let's get to it. I'm Katherine Arthur, and this is Fluent and Fearless. So now let's start with something important. When people say you sound like a robot, what they actually mean is this. Every word that you speak in American English sounds equally important. Every syllable sounds equally strong. And that means your speech is going to sound flat instead of flowing, kind of like a river. And American English, well, that's how it works. Every word does not sound equally important in American English. Every syllable does not sound equally strong. And American English, it does not sound flat. Like I mentioned, it flows. That's because American English is what we call a stress-timed language. And that means some syllables are strong and some are weak. And that's what creates the rhythm of American English. Think of it like music. If every note had the same loudness and every note had exactly the same length, how would that sound? Well, music with every note at the exact same length would lack the natural flow that listeners will expect. And the listeners are going to start to tune out. They'd stop listening. That's much the same with American English. If you aren't speaking American English with a natural flow and rhythm, if every syllable gets the same emphasis, your listeners will start to tune you out because your speech becomes flat and monotonous, just like a robot. So by now you're probably wondering, what is syllable stress? Well, let's break this down in simple terms. A syllable is just a beat in a word. For example, table, that's 2 syllables. Computer, that's 3. Information, that's 4 syllables. So just by listening to me say those words, you might have noticed that in English, all syllables are not equal. One syllable in a word is usually stronger than the others, and we call that the stressed syllable. Let's take a look at an example. This word is spelled R-E-C-O-R-D. As a noun, we pronounce it record. As a verb, we pronounce it record. Same spelling, but different stress and different meanings. And that's how powerful stress can be. It can change the meaning of a word. So how does a listener know when a syllable has been stressed? Well, there's 3 things. The syllable is longer than the others, it's louder, and the vowel is more clear than the rest of the word. So let me give you an example. We'll say the word banana. The natural stress in that word, banana. Notice that the middle syllable, na, is longer than the other 2 syllables. It's also slightly louder. and the vowel is nice and clear. The other syllables are shorter, quieter, and reduced to a relaxed sound, like an We call that a schwa. Banana, banana. Hear the difference? So when you combine all of those factors, the word becomes banana. And stressing that middle syllable, shortening the other two syllables, is critical because that's what creates the natural rhythm. So taking a look at the rhythm of American English, you can already see that American English rhythm is built on a pattern. We have strong syllables, maybe a couple weak, strong, weak, kind of alternates. It flows, but it's not perfectly even. It's more like a heartbeat or like a drum pattern. So let's try a sentence. I want to go to the store. A robotic version of that sentence might sound like, I want to go to the store. Do you hear how every word is stressed exactly the same? They all carry the same weight. But in American English, more natural speech would sound like, I want to go to the store. Do you notice that want, go, and store are the stressed words? And the smaller words like to and the, which are less important words, are reduced, they're shortened, and they're spoken a little bit more softly. Now, taking that to the next level, what would sound even more natural is to reduce that even a little bit more. So want to would become wanna, as in I wanna go to the store. And that's how we do it in American English. We reduce sounds, we connect words, and that's what makes the rhythm of our language. So that leads to my next discussion point, content words versus function words. Now, this might sound like we're in a classroom learning grammar, but stay with me. This is a powerful shortcut for you to remember. As we've already discussed, in American English, we don't stress every single word. We stress or emphasize mainly content words. So what are those? Well, they're nouns such as store, car, teacher, person, place, or thing. Main verbs like go, want, or need. Adjectives that describe a noun such as big or important, and then adverbs such as quickly and really. Now in American English, we don't usually stress articles such as a or the, prepositions like to, of, or for, and auxiliary verbs such as is, are, or have, unless those are the only verb in that sentence or phrase. So instead of saying, I want to go to the store, we would say, I want to go to the store. So try that out loud. Repeat it after me. I want to go to the store. Feel the difference? I want to go to the store. That's natural rhythm of American English. So now let's talk about something that changes everything, and it's something I alluded to earlier in the podcast, and that's the power of reduction. This is where a lot of ESL speakers struggle a bit, and it can be a little bit of a difficult concept if your native language doesn't do this, but stay with me. Now, in many languages, every single vowel is pronounced very clearly, but in American English, we reduce these vowels a lot. We make them smaller, and I don't know why we do that. I think maybe we're in a hurry, but we tend to reduce or shrink sounds down. For example, the word to, T-O, often becomes ta. So we don't fully pronounce that oo sound. It might become ta. Instead of saying I want to, we might say I wanta, I wanta. The word for, F-O-R, often becomes fur. So instead of saying 2 for 1, we might say 2 for 1. The word and, A-N-D, is often shortened to un, or just an N sound, n, such as father and mother, father and mother. Hear how fast that goes? Father and mother. And the word of, O-F, often simply becomes So instead of saying one of them, we might say one of them. One of them. Hear how fast that goes? One of them. Now, sometimes my clients will express a little bit of concern about doing reductions like this because they're afraid it makes them sound too casual. And I assure them that this is what you want. You want your speech to sound relaxed and natural in conversation. When you don't reduce, you sound like you're just reading out loud. But when you do reduce, you sound like you're speaking with a natural flow and a natural rhythm. So let's practice this. I'm going to say a sentence and then repeat it after me. I need to finish this project today. First, I'm going to say the robotic version. I need to finish this project today. Now let's try a natural version. I need to finish this project today. Hear the difference? I need to finish this project today. Now you try it. So here's our next sentence. She's going to call you later. If you were to say it in a robotic manner with equal stress on every word and every syllable, this is how it would sound. She is going to call you later. A more natural version would be, she's going to call you later. Now, did you notice that going to has become gonna, you become softer, and later, the word later, has stress on the first syllable, which is lay. She is gonna call you later. That's how to do it. Now, an important part of all of this is ear training. Before you can use stress, you need to be able to hear it. Now, how do you do that? Well, here's some advice. Number 1, take a look at some short videos of native speakers. Someone that you admire who speaks American English and speaks it well. It could be a famous person, an actor or an actress, a politician, or another public figure. And 2, don't focus on the vocabulary so much. Just listen for the natural rhythm of their speech. Listen for the words and sounds that are strong in a sentence or phrase. And then listen for which words or sounds will shrink or disappear. And use closed captioning if that will help you catch all of those words and sounds. Now, once you have a good understanding of all of that, imitate what you hear, and then do it again and again and again until you get it. You will be matching the rhythm and not just the words. Think of yourself like an actor learning a new script. You're learning a new way to speak. So now let's take a look at how we think about the way we speak American English. I know that a lot of ESL speakers, a lot of my clients, are worried about trying to sound perfect. They want every single sound to be perfect. And natural English, again, is not perfect. I make a lot of mistakes myself, and I was born into this language. So as you can already see from today's episode, American English is kind of messy. It's almost always connected. We reduce a lot of sounds, and there's a lot of rhythm to our speech. So if you're trying to pronounce every single sound and word so clearly and perfectly, well, you're actually going to sound less natural. So keep in mind, if you're asking yourself, am I saying every sound correctly? You don't need to worry about that. What you do need to ask yourself is, does this sound like the rhythm of American English? So I know this is kind of a difficult concept to get the first time around, so let's summarize what we've talked about so far. If you speak American English as a second language and you think you might be sounding a little bit like a robot, well, let's help you focus on stressing the right syllables, reducing the unstressed ones, and creating rhythm, not perfection. Because natural speech is not about saying everything perfectly, it's about saying the right parts clearly. Because natural speech, when it comes to American English, is not about saying every single sound correctly and perfectly. It's about saying the right parts clearly, and then letting the rest relax. And with that, this is Katherine Arthur of Pronounce Speech and Accent Specialists. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today on Fluent and Fearless. If this episode resonated with you, feel free to share it with anyone who speaks American English and wants to communicate more clearly and more confidently. And if you want to go deeper, because we've really just touched the surface of this subject today, well, this is exactly the kind of work that we do inside Accent and Communication Coaching. Because, like I said, I've just given you a basic overview of the rhythm of American English, and this is a subject that we're going to take a deeper dive into in upcoming episodes. But actually, when all is said and done, working one-on-one with an accent and pronunciation coach like myself is really what is going to help you learn how to link words, reduce vowels, and vary your pitch in order to make your speech more engaging, more interesting, and sound more natural. That's how you're going to capture the rhythm of American English. Learning where to pause, where to get a little bit louder, and where to make those syllables a little bit longer. But it is helpful to keep these points in mind, and if you're interested in a deeper understanding, that is, if you want to be really successful at achieving the rhythm of American English, come and visit my website, pronouncespeech.com. pronouncespeech.com. You know, you can book a free online assessment with me. Yes, You can book a free consultation with me, and we can talk about the rhythm of American English and any other questions you might have about accent modification. And then you can also get started on your accent modification journey with me. How about that? Now, my online consultations are relaxed, they're conversational. It's an easy way for you to find out what accent modification can do for you. And once again, that consultation is free. My website again, pronouncespeech.com, pronouncespeech.com. And while you're at my website, I have another free offer for you. How about that? It's a free guide. It's called Speak with Confidence, and it's filled with tips to help you sound more natural and professional when speaking American English. You can get your free copy of this PDF guide today. All you have to do is go to pronouncespeech.com, pronouncespeech.com. Click the blue button near the top of the page, and the free guide will be on its way to you. It's that simple. Speak with Confidence, a guide for ESL professionals. Again, go to pronouncespeech.com, pronouncespeech.com. Click the blue button for the free Speak with Confidence guide. It's right near the top of the page, and your free guide will be on its way to you. So, get out there, get your free guide, book your free consultation, and learn some things about the rhythm of American English. We've got you started on your journey. And when you're done with all of that, be sure to connect with us on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook at Pronounce Speech and Accent Specialists. I'm Katherine Arthur. Again, that's Katherine with a K in case you want to connect with me on LinkedIn. Just look me up and drop me a message. I really enjoy connecting with each and every one of you and handing out some free advice. That's a lot of fun too. So again, Katherine Arthur here. Until next time, keep speaking, keep showing up, and keep reminding yourself that your voice deserves to be heard. Thanks again for listening, and I will talk to you next time on Fluent and Fearless.